Well, hello traders and investors, I'm LA Little and this is your daily NeoTA wrap. We take a look at these markets, doing it from a neoclassical perspective. That means each time we ask ourselves what happened today, what does it tell us about the coming ones? We do this show 4 times a week, every Monday through Thursday, broadcast at or before 10 o'clock Eastern Time, archived on YouTube and on the channel LA Little. If you want to subscribe, reach up in the right hand corner, do so anytime I push content. You get a notification. As far as what happened today, let's first set the stage here. It's about half an hour before the close today. Fed came out with the minutes. I'm not going to be around this evening and will not be around tomorrow, so no show tomorrow. So anyway, set the stage that way. Let's look at what we got here. So if we take a look at the S&P 500 to start with, what we're going to see is another save right at a critical point. A little doji so far. Volume is pretty light today. You come back into the swing point high. That's a retest, regenerate again off that swing point high. Now this is the second time. We had one here. Actually, let me get the right color so we can see it. So we had one here, right? This bar. Now we got another one there. And so a little doji into the swing point high, right? So you come in, you test, you hold, you're going to try to regenerate. That's on the S&P 500. If we take a look at the other indexes, we can quickly run through these. They're all going to look about the same. Here's the NASDAQ. Same thing, comes back in, critical point, and it's coming back into, it wasn't a swing point high, but it's coming into basically what was sort of a swing point high, from the perspective of a high. So it comes back into it, has less significance, but yes, it comes into it, tests into it, and tries to reverse. NDX looks a little bit stronger, not as much a pullback there comparatively. It had ran harder. It looks about the same. And finally, if we look at the Russell, the Russell's coming in nicely and trying to reverse. Now the Russell did a takeaway bar last night, but it's the same sort of thing, right? You come into the key bar, you find support, and in this case the key bar's here. You find support right at about the level you would expect, right? And they try to reverse it, a little hammer reversal going on. If they close it this way by the end of the day, then that's going to be a reasonably successful test, and you should expect an attempt to push higher tomorrow. Fed minutes came out. Looks like they'll never raise rates. The market seems to like that. So does gold. Dollar had a hard time with it, although it's trying to bounce back. The rest of it doesn't look all that much different than what we looked at before. Let's take a quick look overseas, though, because that's where things have been happening. They've already closed. Europe was down pretty much all day, I believe. I haven't actually looked at them. We'll look at them together and see what they look like. And let's see here. We'll start with let's start with the Swiss market, because that's actually the strongest one right now. And if we look at the Swiss market, let's see what that one looks like. Let me draw it again so we get the whole picture. And so it comes down and really just into the middle. That one actually, I don't see anything to stop it yet, so that one actually could trade lower. Let's see what the German DAX looks like and see if there's any tells on any of these. We don't really have a significant tell there on the Swiss market. Let's see what the DAX looks like. Let me grab that chart, and here we go. So the DAX into the middle of the bar. Now this one's gotten deep enough to where it can actually go to the bottom, right? You're halfway in. So, come to the bottom here. You're coming back into the swing point highs. It looks to me like these are going to try and push a little bit lower. And if that's true, that's going to continue to put pressure on our equities. So I think the key tomorrow will be the European markets, how they trade. Will they get a bump off that Fed minutes or not? And will they trade a little higher? They certainly could bounce at this point, but right now there's no tell for that. It looks to me like they're going to try to go lower. So if I had to read this, it looks like it's going to be a bumpy end of week to me. I don't know that I would try to do much more than keep my profits and don't give them back. I'm going to leave it at that for the week. Have a great one. I'll see you Sunday. Good night.